Hey guys, Kev here, and I am going to do a disassembly and bearing swap on this knife right here, the Fox Knives Vox designed Chillin. So what I need is these 5mm 1/16 bearings. I'm assuming, we'll see. I've already swapped the clip out to a Lynch Northwest clip. Let me see if I can get the angle a little bit different there. I had this mat out from an earlier video, so I just left it out. I do love this mat. I found that it was messing with my lighting. So, not my lighting, my camera settings. So, if I don't have my hands in the picture, or a knife or something, it kind of like starts to fade out. I don't know if it's going to happen because there's stuff on the screen. But then when I bring something in, it kind of readjusts. Kind of see it there. But it goes like full pale when there's nothing there. And it's kind of annoying. I found in reviews, I would move my hands out and then it would just, yeah. So I switched to just having the black background. Then I switched to the vinyl stuff. Now I use the vinyl and sometimes a disassembly tray from Tinker Force. But if you're looking for a high-end disassembly mat, this is a really good one. It's full leather, full grain or high grain leather, whatever you call it. Lancelot Leather killed it on this. They are pricey though. You know, you're probably looking at, $200 or $300 for something like this. I mean, look at all the stitching and everything. So that's your high-end option. You can get your logo on it and everything. Or you can get something like this from Tinker Force. This is $21. Obviously much smaller. They're working on a larger one. I think I have a sample coming to test out. We kind of worked on a design together. But this thing has been amazing. I've had it for, I think, over a year. It's probably my favorite tray ever. And it's $21. So, anyway, just going to preemptively drop these skiffs out. This is a Blade HQ exclusive knife. And it is a Vox Knives design. You can see here. Let's zoom in. I did an unboxing. It's probably the video before this, but I didn't get a up close look. So M398, which is very interesting. Vox, Maniago, Italy. Here's your Fox logo. Really nice satin on here. That's why I went with this version. I did look on their website and I saw, because NAF Sergeant, or just NAF, or NAF, whatever it is, he got the titanium version. I went on their website and it was $208. This was $258. So I'm like, why did I pay $50 for carbon fiber? Well, you get the carbon fiber and you get the belt satin, this nice satin. The other one's stonewash. So I do see the value now. And I do really like this carbon fiber. It kind of reminds me of burlap micarta. Has a really good texture and look to it, but just like carbon fiber colored. Now the hardware is kind of blacked or blackwashed. So the clip, it works. I have a blackwashed one or blacksmith one, but it's a giant mouse size one. I thought that would work with this, but it does not. So anyway, let's get into it. My drivers today, I have my Journey Toolco driver back out. I was for a while rocking just the Get Good screws, and then I got some custom ones from Blackwater Machine Works. And I really like this, but if my hands get a little sweaty, it's a little bit hard, a little slippery, and then the weight, I really like having a little bit of weight. Like, I don't want brass, but I want like titanium or something. This is very, very good, but I have this up for sale right now. I don't know if it'll still be around, but these are really cool. I'm waiting for a blasted one from him. But I kind of wanted to bring back the OG Journey Toolco driver. I just really love this driver. So anyway, this is going to be my T8, and then I have a T6 if needed. We are looking at T8, and it came right out. I knew that was going to happen because it had already been loosening. Oh, one thing I wanted to note before we get into this, so you can see, you can't blame me for it, still centered, is no side to side, but there is some up and down. Oh, that might have just taken care of it. So maybe the pivot was just a little bit offset. So we'll see when we get it back together. But what I noticed was the blade tang looks a little bit goofy. Like the angle is just like crazy. Look at it. Isn't that wild? And there's like crazy goop in there too. So there was some on the detent ball as well. So let's see. That is oh, these are going to be T6. Interesting. I didn't think I'd need the T6, but I guess I do. I also love this driver. This is from Get Good Screw. I bought bearings for this on AliExpress. I paid like $50 to ship 4 bearings here, and they're absolutely phenomenal. So I'm glad I did that. The clip is not structural. Just keep that in mind. And here's a classic Fox thing they would do. You're going to go as far to get the brass cage, but then you're going to put steel bearings in there. That's just don't understand when companies do this. Like Protect using steel on steel. At least in that case, maybe like they're just not hip with the times, but like Fox has no excuse. The pivot is like partially coated. That's very interesting. Doesn't mean anything. Now you can see it's steel liner, so I can't flip over washers or anything when I put the skiffs in. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So take my Divo cloth, get some alky on there, and let's clean the blade up. Really digging this blade shape. We have an internal stop pin. Looks like we have a couple locating holes, and I'm really digging what I'm seeing right now. Maybe they're changing their ways, but look at this. We have a pass-through detent hole. That is fucking awesome. That is some next level cool shit right there. If you look at the detent ball, you have a white ceramic. This is like really good shit here. I am very excited to see this stuff. I'm going to clean the lock face. Looks nice. I do want to kind of put a little more pressure on this, but I'm also afraid to mess with it. If I can get the liner out, I think I just need to remove the clip screw. So let's just do this real quick. So this, oop, careful. This screw fell out. Is it the same size as this one? Yes. Okay. All right. So here is your liner. And what I wanted to do is just put a... Ooh, what the flip is that? That's weird. Did they do that on purpose? It's very sharp. Yep, both sides have it. This, I would venture to guess, is aluminum. Not titanium for the price. I mean, you're not going to tell, you know. I don't know how you can tell aluminum versus tie. Maybe just the fact that it's hard anodized, because I don't know if you can get a color like that on titanium. Not that it matters, but, you know, for the price point, steel and aluminum, it's a little bit wah. Anyway, what I was thinking was putting a little more pressure on it. I like the detent. I just want a little more. So you can see we are about that far engaged. I just want to maybe see. Steel is a little harder to bend for me than titanium. And that's all I'm going to go for. I don't want to go crazy. I may have done nothing. And if I did something, hopefully it was just very, very minor. I don't want to mess anything up, but I wanted to maybe get a little bit more tension on there. Hardware seems to be, oops, steel. Pivot, yep, it's all steel. Pivot collar could be aluminum, but it's not steel. So there we go. Now we can put our skiffs in. So again, we have a pivot collar and a nice clean pivot. I like the look of that pivot they use. That's a good job there, I say. I say. So the D shape goes through this side. I like that as well. Let me just remove the blade from this scenario here. We're going to get a little bit of oil. Put that on our finger. Oop. I'm going to take our skiff bearing. The size you want for this knife is 5mm 1/16. That is the single row, I believe 11 ball. So just rub it around like that. Drop it in. Oh, you know what I didn't clean? I don't think I cleaned the tang here. Just want to show you what it looks like because it's like super rough. Look at that. Crazy. All right. Drop that on. Still got a little oil there. I'm just going to put a little more on. I'm using KPL Original or Knife Pivot Lube original weight, 15 weight. This is what I use on bearings. And then on the detent track, I will use heavy. So if you guys want to get any of this knife pivot lube stuff, you go to knifepivotlube.com. My link is down in the description. You can also just use code LeftyEDC at checkout, and you'll get 10% off your order. And that does support the channel, so I appreciate it when people do that. So I just want to put a little drop of heavy around that detent ball. Trying to be careful. I don't want it to jump up on the lock bar. It is a steel lock bar, so it's a little bit less of a worry. And then look at that huge detent hole. I really like this. So do I need to worry about lining this up? No. It's just going to pop right on. Or it should anyway. And it didn't. So let me just see if, there we go. Didn't look like the pivot was all the way through there. You can see that burnt end right there. Hopefully, looks like it caught, looks like there's a burr right here. Does it matter? That's not on the lockup side, so I'm just going to leave it alone. Let's see. Looks like we're seated. It's very contoured, which is nice. I like the look of that and the feel of that. It's going to tighten this guy in. I'm going to have to do this again, obviously, once I get to the super glue portion of our episode. Just put these in a little bit. I got to make sure everything's working and all that good stuff first. Nice and gentle, not going crazy. So centering is slightly off. It's over to the lock side, which kind of sucks, but we're gonna, nice and snappy. That's pretty good. Hoping I can fix this centering. Still off. So it's close, but it's off. So I don't know what the deal is. Let me just back off a hair. Still off, so I don't think it's... Now we're centered, but we're very loose. Yeah, too loose. Don't know what the deal is. Can see you are over to this side quite a bit. Everything else feels great, so this is really unfortunate. I'm gonna try to loosen up things. Try this. Okay. It's still over to that side. Better, but still not great. And now our action's a little jacked up. Very close now. maybe a skosh. This one's gonna be tough with the. This one's gonna be tough with the super glue. If I'm gonna look at that, it's almost dead nuts now. What did I do? I don't even know what I did. Let me see if I loosen it, if it comes back together straight, or if now it shoots over again. Hey, look at that. So, no play, swing, pop, centered. Okay, so let me try it one more time just to test the theory. Take it out, tighten it down. Centered. No play. Went a little too far, but that's okay. All right, so let's give her a try. Actually, let me tighten that. Hopefully it was just something I had off in the pivot, and it adjusted when... And it adjusted when I tried to reset there, but we'll see. Okay, I gotta just clean the shit out of this real quick. There's a lot of stuff coming off. Which means I also need to drive something in here. Okay. See what we can do, folks. We are centered. We have no play. And we have fantastic action. Okay. Let me just make sure we don't cause any issues by tightening these. Tight. It's very, very close. And I'm hoping that my guess would be that just flicking it, using it, it's going to settle that tiny little bit more over. That's usually what happens with knives like this. Like my Jaegers, this one was a bit over to this side. And I've carried and used it, and now it's basically dead nuts. The other one was off to the clip side and swung back a little bit. I'm trying to think of another example that I have while this cures. The Kunwu Tao here was a little bit off to this side and has come back over time. I think I have this guy from NAFSCO that was off to this side and now is dead nuts. That might be a little off to the other side now. Let me just check it. Feels pretty good, but might be a little too far to that side. There it goes. Now it's dead centered. That's weird. I didn't even, it just felt like the pivot moved a cinch in there, but didn't like loosen or anything. I'm waiting on scales for these anyway, so I'm not gonna really worry about it. But anyway, my point is that's what happens, and then it usually settles in. So let me put everything away, and then we can look it over one more time because it should be cured by then. That is the nice thing about using super glue. if you're curious about the super glue, if you're wondering like what the hell, why is he using super glue, I have a video dedicated to that. These are the stock bearings, and this is what I think of those. Right in the trash. Those aren't even worthy of going in my extras bin. Here's again the bearings you'll need if you want to swap them out on this knife. Pretty much goes for most fox knives in my experience. Just buying myself a few minutes. I like to give the super glue, you know, like 2 or 3 minutes if I can. Some people say to wait 15 on super glue. I think that it holds pretty much immediately. It's holding, but you know, it doesn't probably fully cure for 15 minutes, if that makes sense. Something cool I got that I didn't unbox is this cool leather sheath for my Leatherman. This is for the Charge Plus, and then I ordered a couple more. I got this black one, but it's absolute dog piss. Pretty disappointed, honestly. Let's see if I can find it and show you. Yep, here it is. I put it in my giveaway bin. Hopefully somebody can appreciate it. This is just, I mean, this might as well be plastic. I mean, it's shit. I don't know why it bugs me, but that other one's way nicer. This is like 13 bucks, and this is 20. This is made in the U.S. This is made in Mexico, and their nylon ones, which are better than this, are made in China, so it's a little bit weird. All right, here we go. So we got the Fox Chillin, and I don't know if you noticed, but I put the satin lynch clip on. And yeah, this is absolutely looking good. We have no play. The rock is maybe if I really wrench it, but I don't see it as an issue. And yeah, that's just going to get better and better. And so is that centering, which already looks good. And I think I might have got the detent just a touch stronger, which is exactly what I wanted. Lockup, fantastic. You can see it's at, I don't know, what would you call that? 15%, 20%, something like that. And look at it swing. I mean, if I got my finger out of there, it would basically fall, right? See if I can do it. I can't, but it's basically a guillotine. I will note that the stock clip, I noticed it was very tight. It's a wire type clip. Not my normal wire clip that I like. I think it was a little bit shorter, or I don't know, it just seemed a little bit different. And it was a little less comfortable in the hand. And it also was, you know what? I don't know how stain resistant M398 is. So let's hit it with the knife shield. Yeah, it was a little bit tight in the pocket. I didn't enjoy the clip in the pocket. So first chance I got, I threw on a lynch clip. And I'm basically just putting this on to protect it from rust. I usually, honestly, have been using Knife Shield mainly for cleaning blades of tape residue and stuff, which it works absolutely fantastic for. I can probably show you. Cut open a box with this earlier. It's not much on there, honestly. But it just really cleans up a blade. It's impressive what it does. And it'll get any tape gunk off. But anyway, sorry, I'm rambling now. The Chillin is Chillin, and probably my favorite fox knife of all time. And it's quickly becoming one of my favorite Voxnez designs. So right now I actually have 3 of his designs here that I own. I have the Chillin, I have the F5.5, you want to see a comparison, and then I have the Nibbler right here. I think that's all I have from Vox currently. I love Vox designs. I just don't have a ton of his stuff just based on the company making it or the build quality or, you know, that kind of stuff is why I don't have a ton. I would love to see an Ace Grand made by Riot. Would be fantastic. Although if it's made to this quality, then I think it'd be fine that it's Italian. But here's a little size comparison for you. And here you can see the keyhole design is being utilized by both of these. And I really like that hole shape. It works really well. At least in my opinion, it catches your nail really well right there for a flick. And the same is true on the larger one. Very well done on this one. One thing I do want to note that is really cool about Fox is they're doing those giant white ceramic detent balls, and the pass-through detent hole to me is a very nice feature to see on a knife like this. So, all right, there you go. I'm going to do a full review on this probably. We'll see when that comes up. But if you guys have any questions, let me know. I absolutely love you guys. If you can't tell, I'm pretty smitten with this guy. It feels much sturdier now. I know that sounds weird, but maybe that little bit of tension I put on it and the Skiffs it doesn't have any rattle. It had a little bit of a rattle before, like a Kaiser rattle. Just sucks it in now. Could have just needed a cleanup too, you know. I didn't mention the jimping up here, but this is really cool to have that Vox jimping, and it's very aggressive too. So anyway, there it is. Love you guys. These are available at bladehq.com. I don't have a link or anything for them, but I'll put a link, just a general link, of course, so you can pick one up if you're interested. I highly recommend it. They have entry-level ones, so if you want to just get into it, they have ones around $150 with N690 and G10. They have aluminum and N690 for $200-ish. Then they have titanium with Stonewash M398 around $200, which I think is a great price point to get into that really nice kind of rare steel. And then you can go all the way up to $258 on this guy with carbon fiber. They have a couple of carbon fibers, like a blacked out one. And yeah, this knife's dope. So I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. And I will catch you later.